So has your time as chairman of the appropriations helped better prepare you for mayor?
No question about that. I think that 17 years as chairman of the appropriation committee has given me a better sense of how to manage finance and the importance of managing finances first. Secondly, I think that my knowledge base about people around the rest of the state, the importance of regionalism, working with the rest of part of the state, I think those things have helped me tremendously and has helped me grow. And I think the next mayor has to be someone who really understands the importance of leadership and what leadership can mean. You know, we can either move forward or we can move backwards depending on the kind of leadership that we have in room 215. I believe with my experience around education, economic development, public safety, I believe with that skill set transforming a neighborhood that I could bring something that's different and unique than anybody else is running. You know, there's a lot of people telling you what they intend to do. I can point to Ogans Avenue. I can talk about Martin Luther King High School. I could talk about the change in the police department. I could talk about the change in schools. Those things I've definitely had a direct effect on changing what's happening. I would like to be mayor so I can really make real change and change the direction where things are going in the city.
Judy W. asked, there are a lot of low-income families who need home repairs and they don't qualify for city programs. Can there be a program developed to assist these people?
Judy, yes, it can be. There was a program that I was a part of with the Ogans Avenue Revitalization Program where we gave we gave a grant of $3,000, and then we had a low interest loan connected. However, we got to be careful even with that. We can do a grant, but we got to be careful with what kind of interest rates are available. One of the programs I like to see started on the Greater Philadelphia Urban Coalition, where they have some types of instruments available, some financial instruments available for the purpose of making low interest loans. I want to be very careful so we don't run into the problem of predatory lending activities that may occur around the housing area, because to take advantage of people when they are in a situation where they need investment for their houses. So I think obviously, first and foremost, we can do a grant program. That's a possibility. We can look at foundations and talk to them. We can obviously try to figure out through PHFA, Pennsylvania Housing Finance Authority, we can go there. So there's different ways we can go. But this is very important for people to be able to stay in the houses and the ability to take care of the houses.
South Philly Joanne asked, you mentioned your favorite grocery store earlier. Didn't you start a program to bring grocery stores to underserved areas?
Yes, I started something called the Fresh Food Financing Initiative, a $30 million fund that went to the reinvestment fund with the Greater Philadelphia Urban Coalition and the food trust working together. And as a result of that $30 million, we brought in, working with the reinvestment fund, new market tax credits and private investment. And as a result, we have made all kinds of strategic investments. For example, a supermarket in Southwest Philadelphia, a supermarket eventually will be at Progress Plaza. There will be one at LaSalle University that we have. Out there at 52nd and somewhere out around off of 52nd and Market, where the new Loads is going to be. There's going to be a supermarket that came about as a fresh food finance. Those are just 4 examples of investments. 43rd and Walnut, Supremo is an investment from the Fresh Food Fund Finance. So what has this done? This has generated jobs. It also gives healthy food opportunity available to those neighborhoods.
It appears that Barbara Atkins has a question regarding property taxes. It seems her question was cut off, so if she could resubmit it. But I think the gist of it is talk about the changes in the way the property tax will be determined and how low-income people will be affected.
First thing is, I think that there should be some sort of a cap for senior citizens in terms of property taxes. There should be some sort of a cap on how much, because in states like Georgia and other places, they have a cap on what you can do with senior citizens. We have to look at the issue about long-term property tax owners. And I know there's a constant debate about long-term property owners and the whole abatement issue. We got to strike a balance. But I want you to keep something in mind. The property tax is the funding source that funds our schools. So, there's things I want to do in the schools. So I want to strike a balance. So I do believe there's something that needs to be done about senior citizens. And the real question is, I don't want to see people pushed into poverty as having more pressure than from a property tax standpoint. But I think it is important that we do something about our property tax in terms of those who are long-term homeowners versus those who are receiving these abatements.
You had a pretty big week this week. You want to just?
Well, I had a great week. I had a great week. The black clergy in vicinity endorsed my candidacy. They have constituencies of over 300,000 people. So I want to sincerely thank the black clergy in vicinity. They will be very much a part of an Evans administration, help me transform the city economically and on this personal crusade of our parenting. Turned in 17,000 signatures from 17,000 Philadelphians. I want to sincerely thank all of those who circulated my petition. I especially thank them. And I especially want to thank the people who signed my petition. I really appreciate it. That sends a real message of 17,000 signatures that I received. I turned that in on Tuesday. So the black clergy on Monday endorsed my candidacy, and 17,000 signatures that I received. So it has been a good week. We, as of Thursday, it will be 60 days or 59 days left in this campaign. This is what I've said to people. Look, if you work for me for the next 65 days, I'll work for you for the next 8 years. I think it's important to understand that that's not a bad bargain. I'm asking you to work for me for the next 65 days and to help me get elected or win the Democratic nominee to become the next mayor of the city of Philadelphia. And I'm prepared to work for you for the next 8 years.
Charmaine asked, you talked about reading newspapers and books. What else do you do to stay on top of the issues, to stay informed?
Well, I'm involved in a lot of different national organizations. The Brookings Institute, I'm very much a part of what the Brookings Institute has been about, particularly on helping working families. I follow them a great deal. I work with some national people from around the country on urban issues, on education, economic development, are some of the things that I really do. But mainly a lot of the things I do is really from books, newspapers, and magazines that I'm very much trying to stay on top of the issues that are necessary in order to keep a public official on top of things. So I'm constantly in those workshops. Now, again, because I'm running for mayor, I haven't had as much time to go to different seminars as I've gone in the past. But, I'm pretty much keep myself up on the necessary issues in order to be competitive, not just for the city, but for my own self personally.